Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy, the internet's favorite loser, signing back on once again to bring you guys another video. I'm back here to bring you guys another top 10. And today we're going to be ranking the top 10 unique weapons in Borderlands 2. That's right. I've decided to put the Sandhawk down here at number 10 for the very reason I put the Norfleet and the Unkept Herald down at the number 10 spot in my legendary weapons guide. And that's just because I think everybody would be expecting this weapon at number 1 because of how powerful it is. With or without the B shield, regardless, it's a very powerful weapon. And I just didn't feel the need to put it at number 1 because, like I said, everybody knows how broken it is. You throw a B shield on here and everything's gonna die. I mean, you don't even need slag, especially like on non-OP levels. Like, it's just that good. And like I said, even without the B, it's gonna do some good damage. But with the B, it's one of the best bossing weapons in the game. So that's why I didn't feel the need to put it at number 10, which is where pretty much a lot of people would put it. So I just figured, you know, we start out here just like I did with the legendary weapons guard, top 10 legendary weapons, and just throw it at the bottom so everybody, you know, that's expecting it to be number 1, you know, kind of gets thrown off. Because as much as it pains me to also throw it at number 10, it's not being killed. It's just that damn good, and it doesn't need to be any higher than number 10. So I just figured, you know, we go ahead, throw it on down here, get it out of the way. That way it's not like a cop-out when we get to number 1, and all of a sudden, like, it's like, oh, number 1. And it's like, everybody's like, oh, of course, it's the Sandhawk. Sandhawk B pretty much is a melt machine. Especially on Zero, and especially on Maya. Anyway, my number 10 is the Sandhawk. Number 9. Yeah, I'm kind of throwing the Pimpernel on here for the same reason the Sandhawk, because everybody and their mother knows how good everybody knows how good this game is, but everybody and their mother knows how good the old Pimpernel is, especially, like I said, with the old B shield. But you don't need the B shield, just like the Sandhawk, for it to be fantastic. As a matter of fact, I'll throw on like the Sham. This gun is just so good. Especially if you just hit crits all day with it. This gun is so good. It's also so ammo efficient that it's just not funny. But yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic weapon, and nobody's doubting that. I just kind of decided to throw it on here pretty early, just so it's not, you know, that way it's not expected when it, you know, everybody's gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be like top 2, or, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be expected. You know, it's one of those guns. If you put it on Maya and Zero, and especially Salvador, like, it's just one of those guns that go good on every character. That I just didn't want to. I just wanted to kind of get it out of the way. Like I said with the Sandhawk, you know, it's just one of those things that you don't want to wait for. It's one of those things that I don't want to put on, you know, super high on the list, you know. I didn't want to be predictable. So look at how good this weapon is. It's one-shotting without the B, you know, ambush, you know. He was slagged, but that was a super badass one shot. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that good. And the ammo efficiency on this weapon is top notch, especially for a sniper. So, obviously, if we were, you know, probably the Sandhawk would be my number one, Pimpernel would be my number two if I was just going to do this, you know, the way I was going to originally. But I kind of just figured that I would like to showcase some other weapons at the top tier list instead of, you know, everybody is expecting the Pimpernels and the everybody's expecting the Pimpernels and the Sandhawks. So I figured throw it on here at number 9. Everybody knows how good it is. So my number 9 is the old Pimpernel. Number 8. So, yes, the little Evie makes it on my list, not only because of the badass Easter egg, you know, the Bioshock Easter egg with the Big Daddy and the little sister, but because of cool things you can do with it, with like Zero. Kind of messed that up. Because its special effect is it gives you plus 70% cooldown on kills, which means you can do stuff like the Tricky Spy build with Zero, and pretty much get an instant cooldown on your deception, and it's quite cool. I'm obviously not doing it justice, but hold on, I'm gonna concentrate here for a second, get some actual decent gameplay. So yeah, it gives you a plus 70% cooldown reduction. So if you're using something like the Tricky Spy to buff up your unforeseen and your ambush, you can get a lot of electrocution damage from unforeseen, which basically just means that, you know, when you send out your deception clone, when you shoot, it makes the deception clone blow up. You let them get a little closer. You can do some extreme damage. Not only is this gun really fun to use on Zero with a pistol build, but it's also really fun to use with Salvador with his pistol build. You know, you can slag at the same time. It also does pretty good damage, so not that he's slagged because of that. See? Like I said, you get a pretty instant cooldown feature. That means that you can just pretty much destroy them with the deception clone. Like I said, the damage from it is actually not that bad for its, you know, in its own right. But really, I just use it to, you know, get instant cooldown for my deception. So. But yeah, not only is the Easter egg really, really cool, like I said, there's just really cool things you can do with it, and like I said, it's a really fun weapon to use in general. If you build for it with like a sheriff's badge, but I just generally like to run around with Tricky Spy, you know, get the instant cooldown, because like I said, as long as you're getting a kill with it, it's giving you 70% cooldown. If you get a critical kill with it, it gives you 130% cooldown. So just build for it and have fun. You know, it's just a really, really fun weapon. I really, really enjoy the Easter egg, and if you build for it, like I said, it's really, really, really powerful. But I like to run Tricky Spy with it. Like I said, I'm not playing my best right now. I'm a little tired, but running around Tricky Spy, slagging everything with magic missiles, and just destroying them with deception clone explosive electrical blow-ups, basically electrical explosions. This is why it's my number 8. Number 7. Yep, that's right. Our number 7, throwing the good old fibber. Everybody knows how good the fibber is, especially the ricochet fibber. You know, you get the matching element for what you're going for. You throw a B shield on, and it's an absolute boss melter. Absolute boss machine. There's not much in your that would be able to stand in your way. It just absolutely is a classic weapon, especially in the hands of Maya, Zero, you know, pretty much any character that you want to throw this on. Especially if you get really good at landing crits with it. It's a lot easier if you don't aim down sight like I am for some reason. But yeah, you just can absolutely destroy bosses and enemies, especially regular enemies and regular bosses. Absolutely get destroyed by this thing. Absolutely get destroyed. I'm gonna wait for him to do, yeah, waiting for that. But yeah, I mean, everybody should pretty much know how good the Fibber is at this point. It's the top. I think it should be in everybody's top 10 list as far as especially if you throw something like a Sheriff's Badge and a Trickster mod on here with Maya. It's all the fire rate in the world. But yeah, fantastic for bossing, fantastic for normal enemies, especially like I said, if you get really good with it. It's an overall fantastic weapon. Should be in everybody's top 10. Dang it, I barely missed that. Finish him. I actually forget which one's rats and which one's rats and which one's Spider-Ant. So you're Spider-Ant. Let's see what we get. Yeah, you pair get some high fire rate, pair it with a B shield, and pretty much have fun. You know what I mean? It's just one of those weapons that are really good. Especially like I said, is that a big boom? Hey, we got a big boom blaster. But yeah, it's just one of those weapons, one of those unique weapons that are just really good paired with a B shield, especially like paired with Maya. Anybody that can get the fire rate going. It's just a fantastic weapon. So yeah, have some fun with the old Ricochet Fibber. Number 6. So nobody can forget the good old Lady Fist. That 800% critical hit damage is insane. Absolutely insane. Especially like I said, you pair it with something like the B shield. Ain't nothing, you know, gonna be able to stand up to that. Lieutenant's done. This thing is such a great pistol. Like I said, you pair this with Salvador or B shield on it, like you can do so much insane damage with it, and it's not even funny. So yeah, my number 6, and I think everybody knows the Lady Fist. You know, you put it on Salvador, you weapon merge the 800% critical hit damage onto like a quad or something, and you just, you know, destroy anything. You know, so like onto another weapon. So like, it's just one of those things that everybody has in their back pocket no matter what. And like I said, it's incredibly powerful. You can do so many different things with it, especially with Maya and drop reloading on PC. Like let's say you have a Sandhawk, you shoot the Sandhawk burst, and then you drop you drop reload the Sandhawk into the Lady Fists, and the Sandhawk shots will get that 800% critical damage buff. So you shoot the burst of Sandhawk and then you drop it, right? And then before those bursts hit Paramorphous, you drop it into the Lady Fist, so that that burst right there will get the 800% critical hit damage. So very strong, regardless if you want to use it as just a weapon or if you want to use it to, you know, do different techniques to give its 800% critical bonus to other weapons. So, yep. I think everybody should have one of these in their back pocket. I think everybody at this point knows exactly how good the Lady Fist is. So my number 6 is the Lady Fist. Number 5. Yeah, my number 5 would have to be the Hydra. With more pellets technically than even a quad, this thing does insane damage. Especially up close because it's not the most accurate weapon. So as long as you're barrel stuffing enemies, you will absolutely crush whatever's standing in your path. Like I said, but you have to make sure you're barrel stuffing, because you're going to miss a lot of pellets if you're not. That's the only drawback of this weapon. Because the weapon shoots in such a way... Here, I'll show you. For those of you guys that don't know the Hydra. It's one of my personal favorite weapons in this game, just because of how devastating it can be, especially on bigger bosses. So you see that it shoots in like... It shoots in a very weird... Well, it shoots in a 5-headed Hydra pattern. You see it makes 5 different... spots. So as long as you are up close and personal, you're gonna hit all those pellets and it's gonna destroy whatever's in your face. Like I said, it technically has more pellets than a quad, which a quad is more accurate. So if you're doing basic things, I'm gonna suggest you use a quad, just because you're more likely to hit all your pellets. But if you know. If you're going to be able to barrel stuff your enemies, then feel free to pop on a Hydra, because you're going to do a shit ton of damage. So I just wanted to show the Hydra some love, because I love the Hydra. I absolutely love the Hydra. Now this is the situation where the Hydra is not going to be your best friend, because you're not going to be able to land the pellets to be able to do the damage that you're going to need to do to get up. That's the only issue. I got very lucky there. Like I said, it shoots in a very strange... It doesn't, not a strange pattern. It's a predictable pattern, because it shoots in a 5-headed arc, basically, because it's a Hydra. So yeah, and yeah. So if you're gonna be able to barrel stuff your enemy, go ahead and use the Hydra. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little off track. I didn't want to go down again. Anyway, yeah, my number 5 is the Hydra. Fantastic weapon, especially if you can barrel stuff your enemy, or your enemy is as big as the bunker / the warrior. Number 4. I don't think we're going to be able to talk about shotguns without mentioning the Orphan Maker. Not only does it just do a lot of damage, and it's very accurate. They get killed by a barrel. It's very accurate. The only reason I place this above the Hydra is because of the different things that you can do. Not only is it very accurate, not only is it, you know, you can do the money shot thing, you know, basically the money shot trick with the Orphan Maker, but you can I'll be right back. I have to throw more enemies over here. So not only does it do really good damage, it's also very accurate for a shotgun. But you can do other things with it, like if you want to, you know, it's self-damage. The curse is it self-damages you, right? So if you want to use that to your advantage by keeping like a low level fabled tortoise down, then you can. So like something like this, if for whatever reason you don't have Oh yeah, it doesn't do the self damage in this hand, in the left hand. I forgot. But let's say you just want to keep your low level Fabled Tortoise down. That way you get the extra 50% movement speed, and you don't have a Titan class mod or something that lowers your shield capacity. Then you can very well just use the Orphan Maker to keep your low level shield down, so you got that extra 50% movement speed at all times, basically just by, you know, self-inflicting damage on you. If you guys don't know, Salvador, if you money shot, the greater your magazine size, the more, this is just a side tip, the more damage the money shot will do. But on weapons with low magazine, you won't get that bonus. But if you switch it over to your opposite hand, then that means, for whatever reason, in this game's spaghetti ass code, the game thinks that your shotgun now has the weapon that you have in your right hand. If you switch the Orphan Maker to your left hand, it still thinks that, for whatever reason, that the magazine size of your right hand weapon is the Orphan Maker's magazine size. So you'll get the maximum money shot damage buff just by simply having a gun with the higher mag size in your right hand. And most people are going to prefer the Grog, just so you can slag and heal, because basically if you don't have a Grog nozzle in your hand, you're going to be dead. Unless you have very specific characters built in a very specific way. The Grog nozzle is a crutch, but you know what? That's a topic for another video. Anyway, my number 4, the Orphan Maker. Number 3. My number 3 spot is yet another shotgun, but it's mainly just because the cool factor of this weapon. It does decent damage, but you gotta hit it in the correct spot, because it does grenade damage, which means that you really gotta land it at their feet, kinda. But it does good damage, as I've said. And I just really like the style, the arts, not only like the style of the gun, but the style of the bullets. It's really cool to watch the Twister be a Twister. Practice with the Twister. But I just wanted to throw the Twister on here for style, for profile. And like I said, you throw the Twister on Gauge, it does a lot of great work. It's a really enjoyable weapon to run around and use. Like I said, the overall style of the weapon is why I put it so high. I just love that you shoot out little tornadoes. They do good damage against shock, and if you build for it, you can do some really good work with it. I just wanted to throw a weapon on here that I don't feel like gets enough appreciation. Don't take my gameplay though as like what it can do. It can do a lot of great work. A lot of players have showcased that like it can do a lot of work. But for me, the reason I put it at number 3 is just because I love how it looks. I love that it's a shock weapon. I absolutely love the shock element, and just lightning in general is one of my favorite things in life. Infamous is my favorite game franchise of all time. 1 and 2 and Festival of Blood, aka Cole McGrath, the Lightning Man, the Electric Man. And I just love, like, it's something that you don't see. Like, there's not many weapons that have distinct, like, bullet patterns like that. Like that it's a little tornado. It's a little tornado, a lightning tornado, and it's just really cool. Number 2. So my number 2, I was kind of debating between the hail, slow hand. The only reason I didn't want to throw the slow hand on here is because I've already done a lot of shotguns. So I decided between the hail and the kitten, and the kitten is just one of those weapons that are really, really good. Especially if you throw it on somebody like, Creed. God, absolutely how many enemies in here that resisted fire. But yeah, the kitten is just one of those weapons that if you... And plus, I wanted to throw an assault rifle on here, you know, because I haven't been giving the assault rifles a lot of love. Even though Krieg is blood exploding everything right now, that I'm trying... Hold on, stay alive long enough so I can kill you. Hold on. But yeah, the kitten is one of those weapons, one of those assault rifles that is just really, really good. Especially like I said, on somebody like Axton or Krieg or even Maya. Actually, pretty much on anybody. It's just one of those weapons that are actually pretty good. It shoots in the shape of a smiley face as well. And I really like that. I really like that. But yes, it's one of those weapons that is really powerful on pretty much any character. It's one of the best assault rifles in here. Unfortunately, everything is just dying because Krieg is ridiculous. And I haven't gotten a chance to really showcase it off. But trust me, on top of the fact that it's another Moxie weapon, and it gives you plus 4% lifesteal, it's really, really good. So yes, my number 2 would be the kitten. A, because I love the name. B, I love Moxie weapons. And C, it's just really, really good. Number 1. That's right. It's the good old Rapier. The 200% melee damage on somebody like Zero. You can do crazy stuff like this. And this is without even death marking anybody or slagging. It's so strong, so powerful, so fun to run around in Viz, destroying everybody with backstabs and follow-throughs. It's so good. It's just so much fun. I had to throw it on here because it's my favorite playstyle in this game, which is, you know, melee Zero. I love melee Zero. Obviously, you're gonna need like a bladed Ruby or a bladed Grog, just so you can stay alive, or a Law and Order. I used to run around with the Law and Order a lot, just for that healing. And it was really not that bad, you know, you just run around with the Law and Order. But bladed Ruby with slag element or a bladed Grog, that way you can slag enemies and they just absolutely get melted. But yeah, no, the Rapier is one of my favorite weapons in this game, just because of the insane damage that you can do, and just so you can stay in deception the entire time, gain insane speed, and just absolutely obliterate everything in your path. It's so much fun, and I could not put it at my number 1. It's such a fun playstyle to do that absolutely everybody needs to try it out. Now obviously I'm a little bit out of practice, but not terribly. Or I mean, it's not hard. You know, you set up backstabs, you get that insane damage. You're just gonna melt everything, especially like on the lower OP levels. On the lower OP levels, you don't really have to set it up as much, so it's a lot of fun. And I just had to show the Rapier some love. It's a top tier weapon, especially for melee builds, and it's just like I said, so much fun with Zero to just backstab everything into oblivion, and absolutely, you know, just run around here and slicing and dicing and just death marking everything and absolutely melting and running your way through everything with a roid shield. So yes, my number 1 might be a little different than a lot of people just because of how much I enjoy Melee Zero and how much I enjoy Melee in this game. It is the Rapier. My number one is the Rapier. It is such a badass weapon. Not only for looks, but for the melee damage. Like I said, one of my favorite playthroughs I've ever done on this channel was Melee Zero, and I will never forget it. Just running around invisible, backstabbing everything, clearing out entire groups of enemies is such a fun play style that I could not ignore it, and that's why it's my number one. That's why it's my number one. So, as always, my friends, been the internet's favorite loser, signing off. Till next time. Please, in the comments below, let me know what you guys think. What your list is of top 10 unique weapons in Borderlands 2. There are a lot. There are a lot to choose from, and that's what is so freaking good about this game. Please let me know what you guys think and what your lists are. And yeah, goodbye and good night. It has been the internet's favorite loser. Thank you for watching.